Hello friends and my dear student, very good morning to all of you. Today I will be discussing about how to write the dissertations because when you study in the master level, yeah, MPhil level and PhD level, you have to write the dissertation or the thesis properly, friends, following the university guidelines, yeah, institution guidelines, friends. So I thought why not to discuss these total guidelines, yeah, framework, and based on which you could write your thesis, friends, once you complete your study. Now based on this background, let's move to the what are the basic sections of your thesis. First section we see that is your preparatory sections, in which you discuss about the title. There is the blanks sheet is there, additional cover page, copyright page, that's a declaration recommendation page. Here supervisor would recommend your research, then that's the research committee approve your research. Acknowledgements, you have to acknowledge the people who directly or indirectly support your research. Abstract, table of contents, list of tables, list of figures, abbreviation, friends. Now important point is that, friends, when you include the page number, no, numerical page number should be for main body of your research, while you can use the Roman page for like your acknowledgements to the abbreviation page. Now let's move to the first chapter, that's your introduction, in which you would be discussing about your background of your study, which provide your context to your problem statement. And the second one is your problem statement. Problem, once you initiate your background of your study, then it's always good to discuss the research issues with proper alignment and the citation, friends. And even important point is that even research question you could state in these sections, like this study intends to you answer the following research question, like that. And the third one is that your research objective, where you could state your main objective, which is in the line of your research title. And to support your main objective, there might be the specific objective 2 for your study that could be mentioned also. Now significance of the study, that you need to justify how your study would be useful to your target group. For example, if when you are doing the research for the banking sector, then how your research would be applicable to the banking industry or sector, that's you need to justify here. Now the lastly, in this chapter you have to organize your overall study. That is also known as your organization of the dissertation or the thesis. That is the chapter structure, friends. Now let's move to the that's the chapter 2, which is the foundation for your study. Like when we construct like engineer construct a building, then the structure is there. Similarly, when you do the research, literature is very important, which provide the foundation of your study, as I explained earlier. And before that you have to prefacing of the chapter. That's this chapter discusses what contents you are going to cover in this chapter, you have to clarify. And as per need, you could create the relevant and subtopics too. And third one is that it would be always good to avoid the repetitive sentence. It will not enrich your quality of your academic writing, friends. And the fourth one is that to enrich your conceptual understanding, we have to review both theoretical and empirical studies from the global emerging. For example, in Nepali context too, yeah, when you are doing research in Indian context, then you would be researching on the global emerging and the Indian context too. That's a very important form, and you have to organize your overall content from uh, by following your, I mean to say that your APA 7th editions with proper alignment and the citation. And the lastly, uh, you could also justify your conceptual frameworks, because once you understand your overall construct your study variables, then you could clarify your conceptual framework of your study, friend. Now let's move to the research methodology part, because the methodology is all about what methods of analysis, yeah, what research design, what research philosophy that you are going to use to get your objective. Then again you have to again prefacing of the chapter, that's what this chapter speaks about, you have to explain it. And second one is that research philosophy, that's like ontology. And the next one is that epistemology. And the research design, that is it descriptive research, yeah, is your research is app based on your inductive research design or deductive. When we say inductive, that's about your theory building process, friends. And when you are going to test it, then friends, it's all about your deductive deductive approach of research. That's you need to understand here. Now next one is that even under this section you have to clarify your population and sampling. E- Even though you are doing your qualitative study, also you have to justify your overall sampling framework, friends. I mean to say that sometime in qualitative study sampling may not be required. However, as per the need of the study, we have to justify population and sampling, like sampling method, how you are going to collect your data, yeah, data collection procedure like interview, self-report, questionnaire, like that. And is it cross-sectional study or the longitudinal? Yeah, you have to again explain your variable specification, like that, how you are going to collect your data. That's the data collection part. Then you could explain your sampling method, design, your respondents details, like that. As the module and the data analysis part, then here you could take the reference of econometrics concept, where you could explain your model specifications and how you are going to analyze your overall data collections, your collected data. Now you would be explaining about your variables and your proxies. I mean to say that how you are going to measure your study variables. And even you could also mention your research instrument and the research procedures in detail under this section, friends. Now let's move to the results. Is all about by using the research method that I discussed earlier. Then simply, if this is based on your primary data, then you would be discussing about your respondent, your features, reliability analysis. There might be the finding of the each hypothesis as well. You will be discussing, I mean to say that, your collected data by using the methods, how you are going to present and analyze your results. That's a basic part of this, is all about your results. Yeah, empirical analysis, we say that. Then to in the line of your research objective, friends, that's very important, how you are going to organize your results under this section. Now chapter 5 is all about is a summary, discussion and implication, or in some university they also say that discussion and conclusion, like that. Basically under this chapter you will be discussing about your summary of your findings. You will be discussing your results and to what extent your research will consistent with the prior research, yeah, conducted with the prior research. But you have to discuss in detail with the back of your literature review. That's you discuss in your literature review section. Then in the again you would be concluding your research. That is all about your, you have to that is all about your restate your thesis and analysis, how your main points link together and how they relate to your main argument. That's very important. And make sure that you explain how your thesis is relevant to the field of research. That's all about. Now again you will be discussing about its implication also. That's the research implications or the practical implication, I mean to say that. For and even we include also sometime your critique of the study, or sometime we say that is scope for future research. Basically we will be also discussing your limitation of our study under this section, I mean to say that. And lastly there is just references and appendix. All the cited text need to be referenced properly, and appendix would be shown basically after the references, friends. That's where the raw data or questionnaire, interview transcript relevant, but because of your too long or detail you could not include the main body of your research. That's why that need to be included under appendix section, friends. Okay, basically what I discussed today in brief, friends, that's all about your how we are going to organize your overall research. Yeah, I mean to say that how we are going to write dissertation effectively. That's very important point. This is all about your crafting of your research, yeah, thesis, friends, because ultimately based on your research you write a thesis or dissertation, and ultimately you would be converting it into research paper. So I also believe that it's very important, friends, whatever I discussed today. Okay, if you like this content, please like, subscribe and also share this channel. I am also expecting your feedback, friends, so that I could offer you the good learning study materials, so that you could enrich your confidence and understanding level. Thank you all of you for watching this video. Please take care.